Hi everyone, welcome back to Zuli blog. In this tutorial we're going to learn to build an e-learning website using React.js. So this is simply the website we're building. This is everything we're going to build in this tutorial. We're going to be working on all of this, the navbar, the hero section, the courses, everything. So don't forget to like and subscribe. So this is the navigation bar. We have our navigation links right here. We have two buttons for login and register. And this is the hero section. For our hero section, we have this text, this captivating text right here. And we have a button as well. We have an image. We also have all of this for the alumni section, like the companies where the alumni works. And we have this as well. These are the courses right here. Okay, these are all of the courses that are being rendered. We have this also. If you click on any of the course, you're going to see the detail of the course. So this is the image. We have the curriculum and we have faces. And there are topics for each faces as well. This is the second phase. These are very simple. And if you notice, the footer and the navigation bar remains the same in all of the pages. So if you click on the logo, it will take us back to the home page. So these are every other course that have been taken in this e-learning website. And we have this here. And we have the footer section. So I'll try and explore every other course. This is for cybersecurity. We have the description, the language, the date it was posted, the price, and the button to buy the course. We have the image, and I'm heading back to the home page. So I'm going to check out this blockchain and cryptocurrency. As you can see, it's working. So this is basically what we're going to be building. This is a very simple website, and I believe you're going to understand. So don't forget to like once again and subscribe. So on my git bash, I'm going to change directory to my desktop, change directory to my YouTube project. I have a folder for that, and I'm going to run this command to create a React app. I'm using Vite. So the name of the app is Educational Websites. So after running the command, I have all of this. So as it says, I should cd into my educational website, and I should run npm install. Then I use this code to open my VS Code. I'm going to delete app.css because I'm not going to make use of it. Then I'm going to clean up my app.jsx and the index of CSS as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is to create a component folder, and I'm also going to create pages folder as well. So in the pages folder, I'm going to create the home page folder, and I'm going to create the course detail folder. So in the course folder, it's going to take course details.gss and course details.css. So I'm going to use REFC. This is ES7. If you don't have it, try and install it as an extension. So right now I'm creating every necessary component that I'll be making use of, like the navbar, the hero section, the course, then the course lists, then the course contexts, the detail, the info section, the trusted, and I'm also going to create in each folder I'm going to create the React file, the JSX file for each. So I'm just going to, for the course context as well, for each of the components, I'm going to do it for each of the components. So I'm doing the same thing for course lists. The same thing for detail. I'm also going to do the same thing for info. And the Navbar. So I'm going to close everything up. Then I'm going to start with so the first thing I'm going to do is to install my necessary dependencies, which include React Router and React Icon, because I'm going to be making use of all of that. So you're going to copy this on your terminal, you're going to paste it and run the command. Then I'm going to do the same thing as well for React Router. So everything is installed. So I'm going to minimize that. Now I can now run npm run dev to see what I'm trying to work on. So on my main.jsx, I'm going to export browser router. Then I'm going to wrap all of this code in my router element. So next is to go back to the app.jsx. I'm going to import routes and routes from React Router DOM. Then right here I'm going to render the navbar and I'm going to import it as well. I forgot to create the footer section, so this is the footer folder here. So I'm going to render the navigation bar and the footer in the app.jsx. Then I'm going to create the route elements. So here is going to take the parts is going to be for the home page, and I'm going to render the home page component in this element. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here. So this right here is going to take course details. So for the course details, the part is going to take the course, and we're going to use the ID to access each of the details. So I created data.gsx. So this is the data I'll be using. If you check the description box, you're going to see the link to the GitHub file for the starter file where you can access all of this data. I'm going to be providing the CSS file and the starter file. I'm going to be providing all of it in my GitHub profile. So the link is going to be in the description. This is everything. So now if we follow this link, before we follow the link, we need to import our home folder from the components. So it's in the pages, and this is it right here. Now I'm also going to import this course details folder from the pages as well. So the thing is, the home and the course details, they have separate pages. The home page is the main page that we're going to be seeing, while the details is when you click on any of the course, you're going to see the detail of each course, which we're going to access with our ID. We're going to get there very soon, so stay tuned. So now we're on the Navbar. The first thing we need to do is to create a nav tag and give it the class name of nav. And I'm creating another div tag with the class name of navigation. Now I just created a link that will take us to the home page. So when you click on the navigation header, which contains the navigation logo, so I'm using this icon from React Icon, and the name is going to be beside the logo. So the span tag is actually supposed to be, the edu tag is supposed to be in between the span tag. That is what I just corrected. I created a div tag for links, and I'm going to be creating 4 list items for our links. So the first one is taking courses, the second is taking hackerspace, the third is going to take coding ground, and the last one is going to take blog. So this is what we have, this is what we're trying to build, but this is what we have currently. Next thing we need to do now is to create div tag for our buttons. So I'm creating 2 buttons. The first button is going to take login, the second is going to take register. This is what we're building, this is what we have currently. Then I'm going to create a CSS file. I'm going to import the CSS file into our GSX file so we can start styling. So I'm styling the navigation. So for this navigation, I'm setting the height to 10 VH. Display is going to take flex. Padding inline is going to take 100 pixels, and justify content is going to take space between. So this is it. Then the border bottom is going to take 1 pixel solid with this color code. The background color is going to take this color code. Next is this nav header. For the nav header, display is also going to take flex. Flex direction is going to take row, and the gap is going to take 10 pixels. The margin top is going to take 20 pixels. Then I'm going to style the logo. So for the logo, I'm going to set the font size to 25 pixels. Then in my index.css, I already have this. So for the link, I'm going to set the text decoration to none, and the color of every link, I'm going to set it to black. Then for every list, the list style is going to take none. Then the nav logo itself. So I'm styling the span tag and set it to this color code. This, I'm just going to clear this and I'm going to change it to the font style. I want it to be in italic. So this is it. The links. I'm going to set the display to flex. The margin top is going to take 20 pixels. Gap between each of the list item is going to take 30 pixels. And the font size is going to be 18. Font weight is going to take 600. So this is it. Next is to work on the hover effect of the list. So I set the color to this color code and the cursor I set it to pointer. So this is not giving me what I want. This is supposed to have the list item. So if you hover on any of the list, you should see this color. And I'm going to work on this button. So for the button, I'm going to set the margin top to 20 pixels. I'll set it to 10, that's preferable. And the margin bottom is going to take 18 pixels. Display is going to take flex. And the gap between the two buttons is going to take 10 pixels. Next is each of the buttons. So the margin left is going to be 1 rand. The padding is going to take 0.9 rand to rand. And the color is going to take this color code. The background of each is going to take this color code as well. Border, I set it to none. The border radius 15 pixels. And the cursor is going to be pointer. Font weight of the text is going to be 600, as you can see. So next is to work on the first button. The background is going to be transparent and the border is going to take 1 pixel solid with this color code. And the color of the text is going to be black. So I'm going to copy this and paste this to work on the hover effect. The background color is going to be this when you hover on it. So this is everything about the navigation. Next thing I'm going to work on is this home page. So in the home page right here, we have this zero section. So we're going to start with this zero section. We have this alumni page. We have this as well. We have the courses. as well, and we have this path to success. So the Euro section, I'm going to create the CSS file for the Euro section. Then I'll import the CSS file for the Euro section into the GSX. Next is to create a div tag for the class name of Euro, an h1 tag for the Euro header, which will contain this text. The paragraph tag is going to take this, so I'm just going to align this. I'm going to align it later. So another div tag for the button. I'm going to be creating one button, which is the call to action button to explore courses. Then I'll create an image tag. So I have all of this image. I'm going to be providing you with all of the image in my GitHub file. The link will be in the description file. So I'm importing this classroom image from the asset folder. So I'm going to copy this with a curly braces and paste it within it. So in our home page file, I'm going to render the hero file in it. So we're going to be seeing this on our home page. Then I'll start styling. The display is taking grid. The height here is taking 100 VH. The width will be 100%. And I want to place all of the items in the center. The background color is going to take this color code. Then I'll style the hero header itself. The font size is going to take this value. Text align is going to be center. The margin top is going to take 20 pixels. And the color of the text is going to take this color code. Then I'm going to style the paragraph tag. The font size here is going to be 20 pixels. The text will also be at the center. And the margin top is going to take 10 pixels. The color is going to take this color code. For the call to action button, the margin top is going to take 15 pixels. The padding is going to take this value. And the color is going to be, the text color is going to be white. The background is going to take this color code. So border is going to be none. And the border radius is going to take this value. Cursor is going to be pointer. And the font weight is going to take 600. Next is to work on the hover effects. The background color is going to take this value. Then I'm going to work on the image here. So I'm giving it a class name of your image. And I'm also giving it an alt name of your image. The width of the image, I'm setting it to 500 pixels. The height is 500 as well. The margin top is 40 pixels. And the border radius is going to take 20 pixels. As you can see, there's difference between what we're trying to build and what we have before. So I'm going to add a break tag here. I'm going to add it here as well. So if you go back, this is what we have now. It's the same as what we had earlier. So for what we're trying to build, we have other section in our home page. So I'm going to start with this trusted. Then I'll create the CSS file for it. I'm going to import this CSS file into our GSX. We're using all of these SVG files, so I'm going to import everything. I'm going to import the Glovo from our assets folder. I'll copy this and paste this. Then I'm going to change this to Oracle because we're going to be using it as well. Then I'll paste what I copied again, and I'll change the name to PayPal because we're going to be using it as well. Then paste again, and I'm going to change this to Pioneer because we're going to be using all of this. Then lastly, I'll change this to Stripe. Next is to start working. I created a div file with the class name of trusted. I created another div tag with the class name of trusted container. Then we're going to have an H3 tag that is going to take the header. Then I'm going to create another div tag that will take the images. So I'm giving this image a class name of logo, and I created 5 images. So this is going to take Glovo, this is going to take Oracle, so this is going to take PayPal, this is going to take Pioneer, and lastly we're going to have Stripe. So in our home page file, we're going to render this trusted component. So this is it on our screen. So I'm going to start with the CSS. I'm going to start by styling this trusted. The margin top is going to take 150 pixels. Display is going to be grid. All the items will be in the center, and I'm going to continue with the header. For this header, the font size is going to take 25 pixels. All the text will be in the center. Then I'm going to style the images, the image container. So for the image container, I want all of the image inside this container to display flex. I'm going to set the gap to 30 pixels. Then I'm going to style the image tag itself using the class name. So the width of the image, I'm going to set it to 160, and we have this right here. Next thing we need to work on is this detailed. I'm going to import the CSS file as well. Then I'll create a div tag and give it a class name of detail. I'll create another div tag and give it a class name of detail container. Then I'm going to create a div tag, and give it a class name of detail list. And in the list, we're going to have the icon first. So the first icon, this icon is going to take the video icon that I got from React Icons. Then I created another div tag for the detail itself. We have an h2 tag, and we're also going to have a paragraph tag. So I'm going to copy this and paste this 3 times. And I'm going to be changing the contents in the details, in the detail list. So I'm starting with the detail icon. I just changed this. So this is going to take ebooks. I'm going to change this icon as well. And the contents in it. And I'm going to change this icon also. And I'm also going to change this. So the next thing I'm going to do is to render the detail container, the detail components in our home page. So we have this in our home page. This is what we're trying to build. This is what we have. Then I'm going to start by styling it. So the background color is going to take this color code. The height of the container is going to take this value. The width. The height is going to take 140 pixels. The margin left is going to take this value. And the border radius is going to take this value as well. Margin top is going to take 20 pixels. I'm going to take this down. Alright. The margin bottom is going to take this value. The color of the text is going to be white. So for the detail container, the display is going to be flex. The padding inline is going to take 40 pixels. Flex direction is going to be row. And I'm going to start the detail list. For the detail list, the display is going to be flex. Padding inline is going to take this value. Let me set the gap before any other thing. The gap is going to take 10 pixels. The margin top is going to take 30 pixels. Then for the detail icon, I'm going to set the font size to this value. And I'm going to style this detail container. Margin top is going to take 20 pixels. I'm going to style the h2 tag in the detail container. The font size, I'm going to set it to 16 pixels. And the font weight is going to be 600. This is supposed to be paragraph tag. So I'm going to set the h2 tag. The font size is going to take 35 pixels. So this is what we have now. It's the same thing as what we're trying to build. So on this home page, we have this course components. So I'm going to cancel all of this. I'm going to start with the course context. Here I'm going to add create course context and our use state. Then I'm going to create our course context. So I'll use the create context to create our course context. Then I'm going to import our data. I'm going to be importing the courses data. So this is our data.gss. This is what I'm trying to import right here. Then right here, I'm going to add provider to this. So I'm going to copy this and paste this here. So we're going to be exporting our course context provider. So this is going to take the props of children. Then I'm going to create a state for courses and to set course. So we're going to use, our use state is going to use this course data. So I just cleared up that and I'm going to replace it with course context dot provider. So it's going to take this. Okay, there's a little mistake. This is supposed to be children, but let me set the value to courses. So this is going to be children. Now it is correct. So in the main.gss, we're going to wrap all the elements there inside the course context provider. So let me try and align this. Then I'm going to import course context provider. Then I can now start with my course list. In the course list, I'm going to add this use context. Then I'm going to import the links from React Router DOM. Next thing is to import the context. So I just imported the context. So I'm also going to import the course component itself inside the course list. Then right here, I'm going to create the use context for the courses. So I'm going to use console.log to access the courses from our context file. And I'm also going to render this course list. So we're going to check the console. So this is it. It is working perfectly well. Then I'm going to start with the div tag for course wrapper and h2 tag for this text in demand courses. Then I'll create another div tag for course container where I'm going to map over the courses. And I just created an arrow function. Here I'm going to return the link tag that will take us to the course. So if you click on any of the course, it's going to take us to the course details. Okay. So we're going to use the ID to access the details. That is what I just did here. So I'm going to render the course component in here. Remember that I imported the course itself. So this is all of it. So if we click on any of it, it's going to take us back. It's going to take us to the course details using the ID. So on the course, the GSS file for each of the courses, I just imported the CSS file. And it's going to take this course as props. So here I just rendered all of the props, the image, the name, the price, the standard. So this is everything: the image, the name, the price, the standard. This is all we're going to see on our home page. This is the image, the name, the price, and the standard. So I'm going to create a div tag for course card, each of the course card. And I'm also going to have an image tag with a class name of course image. Then I'm going to use curly braces and I'm going to insert this image in it. Then I'm going to have the course name. And the course price in dollars. Then I'm going to have a P tag for course standard. So this is going to take standard. Beside the standard, we're going to have an icon. So I'm selecting this from React icon. And I'm going to give it a class name of analytics. Next thing is to create a button tag for the course button so that the user can explore. This is what we have. We are here to style it. So I'm going to start by styling. So I'll start with the course list file. So I'm going to start with the course wrapper. The width I'm going to set it to 100%. The display is going to take grid. The background is going to take this color code. Then the H2 tag right here. I'm going to set the margin top to 50 pixels. The margin bottom is also going to take 20 pixels. And the margin left is going to be 500 pixels. The font size is going to take 15 pixels. For the span tag in the H2, I'm going to set the column. Why is there a problem? Okay, I'm not using the right. Okay, so here I'm going to set the color to this color code. Then I'm going to style the cost container. For the cost container, the display is going to take grid. Grid template column is going to repeat 4 of each of the cards and 250 pixels. The specify content is going to be in the center. Gap is going to take 2.5 rem. Now I'm going to style the cost card in the cost file. So this is going to take a position of relative. Background color is going to take this color code. Padding is going to take this value. The border is going to take this value, 1 pixel solid with this color code. Then the text align is going to be center. Then the transition, I'm going to set it to 0.3 seconds. Then the next thing is the image. Then I'm going to style the image. The height is going to take this value. The margin bottom of the image is going to take 1 rem. So this is it. Next is the cost name. So I'm going to start the cost name, the cost price, and oh, this is a mistake. The cost name, the cost price, and the cost standard. I want all of the text to start at the center, so the text align is going to be start. The margin left is going to take 10 pixels. Then I'll start to style each of them. So for the cost name, I'm going to set the margin bottom to 0.5 rem. For the cost price, the display is going to be block. And the margin bottom is going to take this value. The font size is going to take 22 pixels. And the font weight is going to take 600. The color is going to take this color code. For the cost standard, the font size is going to take this value as well, 16 pixels. The color is going to take this color code. There is an icon in this course standard, which the class name is analytics. So I'm going to set the font size to 18 pixels. And I'm also going to set the color to black. The margin right as well, I'm going to set it to 5 pixels. Next is to style the cost button. So for the cost button, it's going to be inline block. The border is going to be none. And I'm going to set the border radius to 30 pixels. The color is going to be white. And I'm going to set the padding to this value. The font size is going to take this. Okay. This is the font size. It's going to take 16 pixels. The margin top is going to take 20 pixels and the transition is going to take 0.3 seconds. So the background color is going to take this value. There was a mistake right here. Okay, there's no mistake. I want to work on the over effect. So the box shadow is going to take this value with this color code. So if you hover on it, you're going to see this shadow right here. So if you click on this, you're going to get coarse detail. If you click on this, you're going to get coarse detail. So we need to work on the content and the coarse detail. This is what we're trying to build. This is what we have. It's looking the same. But first we need to work on these coarse details. As you can see, if you click on this coarse detail, you're going to see the content. So I'm going to close all of this. Then I'm going to work on the coarse detail. First, I'm going to import the CSS file for this coarse detail. Then I'm going to import the coarse data, the courses data. Also, I'm going to import these use params from React Router DOM. Then I'm going to get the course ID using what I just imported, these use params. So I'm going to create a variable for course, which is going to store all the values in courses data, and we're going to find the particular value we are looking for based on the ID. So this is a const course equals courses data dot find. Then we have a bracket here for courses with an arrow function that is to return the course dot ID. So the ID has value. It's not a string. That is why we use this pass hint to convert the string to ID, to value. So the variable I created is going to store the course, like each courses based on their ID. So we've gone far. I created a div tag for course detail. I created another div tag for the details top. We're going to have the left and the right section. So within the left section, we're going to have the course name. So let's check the data. Let's see. We're going to have the course name. This is what I just did right here. As you can see, we're going to have the course description that is within the course detail. So this is going to take course detail dot description. Then we're going to have the language. The age of the courses is taught. Then this is going to take the date. So I created another div tag for the price container. I'm going to have an h3 tag with the class name of price, and this is going to take cost the price. So as you can see, there's a difference between cost the name and cost the detail the description. It's because the description is within the cost detail. That's why we have cost the detail the description. If you learn more about arrays and objects, you're going to understand that. So in the right section, everything is working. We'll just check that now. In the right section, we're going to have the image with the class name of course image. So this is the image. I got all of this image from FreePic. So the image credits will go to FreePic. You can check it out to source for images. So I'm going to create another div tag for course journey. Then we have an h2 tag for curriculum. Then I'm going to be using a field set. I believe we all understand field sets from HTML. If you don't, please go back to it and learn it. Now I'm going to be using a legend elements. I give it a class name of face, and I give it a title of face 1 based on 8 faces. So this is it right here. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. So right now we are trying to access the face name inside the phase 1 object. The phase 1 object is also inside the courses data array of objects. So our courses data has an array of objects, and we have phase 1, which is so here I'm just going to change to each of the face lists, as you can see. So I'm going to copy this and paste this 4 times because we need 4 faces. And I'm going to change the values based on the faces. So this is going to be 3, this is going to be 4. So phase 1 is actually correct. So for the second phase, I'm going to change here to phase 2. So this is going to take second phase. And this is going to take third phase. This is for the fourth phase. Okay, no, the third phase. Yes, the third phase. So this is phase 3, phase 3, phase 3. And this is going to take the phase 4. So this is all of it. Next is to style everything so it can look more pleasant. The first thing is to style the course detail container itself. The margin top is 40, the padding in line is that value. So we're going to start with detail top. Display here is going to take flex. So I'm going to start the image and the right details first before every other thing. So the width here is 700 pixels, the height is 450, and the object fit is going to take cover. Then for the left details, the H3 tag in the left details, the font size is going to take 35 pixels. Then the margin bottom is going to take this value. Then for the description, the color is going to take this value, and the margin bottom as well is going to take 15 pixels. The font size is going to take this value. So this is supposed to be width, not windows. So we have this right now. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to work on the language class name. So the color is going to be this value, and margin bottom for this is going to be 20 pixels. Next is the date. The margin top for the date is 10 pixels, and the font size, font weight is going to be 600. We have the price as well. The font size for the price is going to take 28 pixels. So for the price container, I'm going to set the margin top to 25 pixels. The display is going to be flex, and the gap is going to be 25 pixels. So the button here, padding is going to take this value, and the border radius is going to take 15 pixels. Then the border is going to be set to null. The font width of the text is going to take 600. Background color is going to take this value. So here it is. Next is to style the hover effect. Is to add hover effect to it. The background color is going to be this value. So when you hover on it, that's the color you're going to see. I'm going to show you now. But let's style this field container. So the border radius is going to be 10 pixels. The margin top is going to be 15 pixels. The margin bottom here is going to take 20 pixels, and the padding inline is going to take 50 pixels. Display here is going to be flex, and the flex direction is going to be colon. So this is it. So for the face name, I'm going to set the margin top to 12 pixels, and the margin bottom is going to take 10 pixels. The margin left is going to take 15 pixels, and the font size is going to take 22 pixels. So the font width here is going to take 600, and the font size is going to take 18 pixels. For the URL tag in the field container, the display is going to be grid template colon, repeat 3 on each per one faction. Then the gap is 10 pixels, padding inline is 50 pixels. and the margin bottom is going to take 10 pixels. So this is it, and it's the same thing we're trying to build. So we're done with this segment. Next thing we need to work on is this part which we don't have in our own page. So I'm just going to cancel all of this. So this part is going to be inside the info component, which I'm going to render in our own page. So in the info, I'm going to create a CSS file for this info, and I'm going to import it into the GSS file. Then I'll create a div tag for info container and for the info itself, with an h2 tag with this text and a paragraph tag with this text. Then I'm going to create a button for this as well. Next thing is to start styling. The margin top here is going to take 40 pixels. Display is going to be great. The height is going to take 30 VH. And the width is going to be 50%, 90%. I want all the items to be in the center, so I use place item center. The background is going to take this color code, and the margin top, the margin left, is going to take this value. The color, the text color is going to be white, and the border radius is going to take 20 pixels. The margin bottom is going to take 40 pixels, and for this info, I want all the text to be in the center, so I use text align for the center. Next thing is this h2 tag. The margin bottom is going to be 10 pixels, and the font size of the h2 tag is going to be 30 pixels. So for the p tag, the margin bottom as well is going to be 20 pixels, and the button, the padding is going to take this value, and the color is going to take white. Border, I'm going to set it to none, and the border radius is going to take 5 pixels. Cursor is going to be pointer, and I'm going to set the font weight of the text to 600. I'm also going to add background color. So this is what we have here. So I'm going to work on the hover effect. So when you hover on it, I want to change the background to this color code. So if you hover on it, we're going to have this color code. Next thing is to work on our footer. I'm here to create the CSS file for the footer, so that is what I'm doing right now. And I'm going to import the CSS file that I just created for the footer into the GSS file of the footer. Then I have some icons I will be making use of, which I'm going to be getting from my asset folder. So I'm going to copy this and paste this twice, and I'm going to change the content here to Twitter, because I'm going to be using the Twitter icon, and I'm also going to change this to LinkedIn. So for the footer, I'm going to create a div tag with a class name of footer. I'm going to create another div tag with a class name of footer contents. So here I'm going to be having an h2 tag with this title educative with the K. Then I'm going to have the social icons, which is going to take 3 images. The icons I just imported earlier, so I'm going to be inserting them. I'm going to add the alt text first. So this is going to take Facebook, this is going to take Twitter, and the last one is going to take LinkedIn. So here I made a little mistake. This is supposed to take content, it's going to supposed to be inside the left contents. We're going to have the center content and we're going to have the right content as well. So for the content in the center, we have an h2 tag with the name of company, and I'm going to have 4 list items. We're going to have home, about, services, and privacy policy. Then I'm going to have the right content as well. So this is going to take get in touch. The h2 tag is going to take get in touch. Then I'm going to create 3 list items for phone number, for email, and for address. Then I'm going to have an HR tag followed by a P tag that has a class name of copyright with this text. So this is supposed to be after this title. So now I'm going to start by styling. So I'll start with the footer itself. For the footer, I'm going to set the display to flex. Flex direction is going to take column. I want all the items to be in the center, so I'm going to use align item center. And I'm going to set the gap between each to 20 pixels. Padding is going to take this value, 20 pixel 8W. Then I'm going to set another padding to 80 pixels. The background color is going to take this color code. The color of the text is going to be white. So for the footer contents, the width is going to be 100%. Display is going to be grid. And I'm going to set the grid template colon. The gap, I'm going to set it to 80 pixels. For the left content, I'm going to start with the h2 tag. The font size I'm going to set to 30 pixels. The font weight is going to be 600. And the margin bottom is going to take this value, 10 pixels. Then I'm going to style the center, the left, and the right content. So I'm going to set the display to flex. Flex direction is going to take column. And I want all the items to start at the beginning. I'm going to set a gap of 20 pixels. Then we have list item in the center content and the right content. So I'm going to set the margin bottom to 10 pixels for each of the list item, and the cursor is going to take pointer. We have h2 tag in all of the content in the 3 class name. Then I'm going to set the font size of each. Okay, I have the font size already. I don't need to style it again. So the next thing I'm going to do is to style this social icon. So for the social icon, the width is going to be 40 pixels, margin right is going to be 15 pixels, and the margin top is going to be 20 pixels. I'm going to add the image tag because I'm styling each of the image, not the container. So for the HR tag in the footer, the width is going to be 100%, the height is going to be 7 pixels, the margin is going to take 20 pixels and 0. The background color is going to take this color code. It's going to take gray. And the border is going to be none. So that is what we're building in this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you guys.